against the Rangers? We'll find out next on Masson. It's the Orioles on Masson on a hazy, hot, and humid night in downtown Baltimore. It's the Orioles and the Houston Astros tonight, the opening game in this three-game weekend series. And hi, everyone, I'm Jim Hunter. What a week it has been here at Camden Yards, and the Orioles tonight go for a fifth consecutive win. And a very interesting homestand, a 10-game homestand to begin the post-All-Star break part of the schedule. Didn't start out so well, but the Orioles right now are blazing. Let's compare the first two series on this homestand. Of course, the Cubs came in first, and last weekend it was all Chicago. The Orioles were swept by the Cubs. The starters ERA in that series, an alarming 16.68. Bullpen ERA was okay. And even the batting in that series was below par. 202, 3.7 runs per game and just 3 home runs. However, look at the numbers on the right. The last 4 games, the Orioles sweep the Rangers. The starters improved to 3.13. Bullpen even better. And look at that offensive support. A 345 batting average, 8.5 runs per game, and 10 home runs. The Orioles did not have a single lead against the Cubs. 25 innings in the 4-game series against the Rangers. The Orioles had the lead. Now, Mike Bordick, I don't know if one series alone can turn around a season. But if one series can, I think the Texas series was it.
I'll tell you what, man, the Oriole offense was amazing, but I think the starting pitching really set the tone. 3 quality starts, obviously, from Miley and not Miley, but Tillman and Gausman, and of course Bundy. So that really got things rolling. I think the Oriole offense was on the verge. You know, they had a tremendous comeback in Game 1 against the Cubs, and I think everything could have turned out differently for the Orioles had not they stuck with that and ended up winning the ball game. But that solo home run by Addison Russell proved to be different. Kind of took the wind out of their sails, but they bounced back. You know, came out aggressive. They minimized their mistakes. They played some clean baseball, and they took advantage of mistakes the Rangers made. Now they're going to have to do the same thing against this Astros team. You know, play clean baseball, stay aggressive on the base paths, and keep having those quality ABs.
Well, we know the Astros are a difficult matchup because their pitchers pitch backwards. The fastballs are less than 50%. They try to set you up for the fastball with everything else. Now, the way the Orioles are swinging the bat, is this the best time maybe to be facing that team?
I think so. Yeah. They showed some great patience against the Rangers. You know, they tried to do the same thing, a lot of breaking balls, but they got the ball elevated and they made them pay. The big innings, obviously, were crucial for the Oriole offense.
So we'll see how it goes as the O's go for a 5th consecutive win. The Orioles and Astros, we're coming back to Camden Yards. Lineups and first pitch are coming up. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. On Friday Night Baseball here at Camden Yards, let's get a look at our BGE Home game time temperature. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? 90 degrees and that humidity on the rise at 55%. Mostly cloudy downtown. It is a sticky night here in Baltimore. So the Orioles welcome in the best team in the American League and the team with the best road record in the major leagues. And George Springer, he is a threat up top, and he has enjoyed hitting here at Camden Yards, a .500 career average with a couple of home runs. Altuve, Reddick, and Beltran with Gurriel at first, Gonzalez, McCann, Bregman, and Colin Moran making his first start of the year just up from AAA.
And let's take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez's pitch arsenal. Yeah, he has a ton of pitches, and when he's on, he can use them all. But the two-seam fastball is going to be the key. He's going to have that ability to throw for strikes. Facing 5 lefties tonight in this Astros lineup. Has to have the ability to pitch inside and bring it back over that inside corner. Keep those lefties honest. Take a look at Ubaldo's numbers on the year. Looking for his 5th win, and obviously to lower that 7.01 earned run average. Just having the 74 punch-out, so if that split he's working, he'll get some swing and misses. Opponents hitting a lofty 275. Lefties way up to 296. That's why that two-seamer so important.
Well, the Orioles starters in the Texas series, 3 consecutive quality starts. Wade Miley did make it through 5 innings last night, but unfortunately, the home run by Napoli spoiled what might have been a better start for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the defense was working well for Miley last night. He was putting the ball in play. And he labored through, but seemed like one mistake really broke his back.
And a breaking ball for strike 1, and we're underway at Camden Yards. George Springer comes in. You see 27 home runs, tied for second with Chris Davis of Oakland, trailing only Aaron Judge of the Yankees, who has 30. And Ubaldo gets ahead 0-2.
Springer's such a dangerous leadoff hitter. Really sets the tone for this whole offense. Aggressive at the top, the big time power numbers. He's had 9 leadoff home runs, so very dangerous. And the Astros, when they put a mark on the board first, boy, they can keep it rolling.
And the 0-2 misses badly down and in. Of course, they are without their all-star shortstop Carlos Correa. He underwent surgery on Wednesday, repairing a torn ligament in his left thumb that was injured on a swing. And he'll be out about 8 weeks. Good off-speed pitch. Springer just did get a piece to stay alive.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. Missing Correa, a monster year. He's hit 20 home runs, an incredible defender as well, and has really kind of become the heart and soul of the team. I mean, there's a great number of players on this Astros lineup, but boy, Correa in the middle, going to be missed for sure.
1-2 pitch nearly hit him. Fastball rode in.
Well, use it to his advantage there. Obviously, got to be aggressive, get him to move his feet. Dangerous up there, though. Potentially opening up that outside corner on Springer. You don't want him to feel comfortable to start this series.
Well, he has 9 leadoff home runs on the year, most in all of Major League Baseball. And a called strike 3 at the knees. He stayed with the fastball. And a perfectly placed pitch for the out.
Boy, nasty. And Springer gave up on it. This is a 2-seam fastball. Caleb Joseph sent out outside. It was heading for the glove, but look at it dart back over the plate. Incredible life, 94 miles an hour. And Springer, just a pair of shoes, looking for something else.
So a strikeout of Springer gets us going, and here's Jose Altuve against Ubaldo. He's the league's leading hitter at .353. And he'll take low 1-0, and that's one of the reasons he is such a good hitter, his strike zone recognition. And it's not a very big strike zone.
Not a big strike zone. How about that month of July? 474. Are you kidding me? I mean, the guy is a machine right now. His on-base percentage, it's way up there, over 400. This guy is a beast. He can steal bases, hits for power, hits for average. He drives them in.
And he'll take a strike 2-1. Season high 12-game hitting streak he brings into Baltimore against Ubaldo. Oh. And he has 6 hits against Ubaldo in 21 at-bats. And gets ahead 3-1. Ubaldo last Sunday against the Cubs knocked out in the 4th inning. He went 3 2/3, 6 runs, on 11 hits, including a Chris Bryant 2-run homer. And there's a walk. So Altuve takes a walk. Base runner with 1 down.
And take a look at the Oriole defense behind Jimenez. Mancini, Jones, and Rickard will roam the outfield. Todd and Scope up the middle. Machado and Davis once again on the corners. And Caleb Joseph getting the start behind the plate tonight. Has been playing some solid defense. And as look to him to try to get some early contact, put it in play, and keep the defense on their toes.
Here's Josh Reddick, his first year with the Astros. Went there as a free agent. Of course, this is the part of the game when a runner gets on against Ubaldo, especially efficient base stealers. It becomes a track meet. There have been 12 steals against Ubaldo, and the Orioles have been able to catch just 4 when he's on the mound, and Altuve is one of the best. Draw a lot of attention.
I'll just try to keep him off balance and kind of guessing a little bit. Ubaldo's got to a couple quick snap throws over there. Now maybe some long holds and mix it up a little bit. Altuve, great major league base stealer, so understands what to look for up there, especially off Ubaldo. Caleb, of course, has to keep him honest as well. And Caleb can read Altuve and sense whether or not he's going. And John Russell in there could potentially call pitch outs, but Ubaldo just a little bit slower.
And he gets ahead of Reddick. No balls and 2 strikes.
Sometimes tough to waste pitches, but here in this situation, getting ahead, have that opportunity.
Former Oriole at first base, their coach. Getting a real good view of Ubaldo. Look at the angle he's taking. Now the count 1-2 on Josh Reddick, who is 5 for his last 23.
Reddick really enjoying one of his best years, major league level. Over 300 right now. And boy, when you get guys like Springer and Altuve on base in front of you, you have some big numbers. 2 stolen base threat, base average this season.
Altuve bluff going, and it's fouled back. Well, the Astros, one of the reasons they are so good, Mike, and so consistent. Look at this run differential early in games, first through 3rd innings. They are plus 88, best in the major leagues. So with their pitching, and the pitching's been pretty good, you get an early lead, you're on your way.
No, you got that right. You know, the pitchers, the starters, their earned run average best in Major League Baseball. We talked about Springer, 9 leadoff home runs, so they make marks in that regard. Altuve with his on base percentage up over 400, 420 this season, so he's always on there stealing bases. They put a lot of pressure on teams right from the get-go. And the pitchers slam the door, and their offense is putting up a lot of runs.
2-2 on Reddick. Altuve runs, swing and a miss. Throw to second by Caleb is high, and Altuve has the bag. So his 20th steal. He's in scoring position, but now with 2 men down.
Caleb Joseph doing the best he can on a nasty split finger. Take a look at the jump from Altuve. Gets a little momentum, that right foot up in the air, and gets something going towards second base. As this was a stolen base all the way, but the nice pick by Caleb. And he just launches it up there. It's hoping a situation that Tejada gets the ball. Maybe Altuve bounces off the bag. A little cheap third out, but nice recovery from Caleb Joseph, digging the splitty out of the dirt.
And cleanup hitter Beltran hits it in the right field. That's a base hit. Altuve heading around the plate. The throw from Rickard is too late. Pretty strong throw, but Altuve runs well. And the Astros do in fact grab a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Altuve's speed really made up for that. He was a good 10 feet away from third base when he got the call home. Beltran, nice piece of hit and slapping it through that first and second base hole. Rickard playing deep and expecting the power. Tries to get to this ball as quickly as possible. Makes a strong throw, but a tight turn, and Altuve's speed allows him to get to that back corner of home plate. See him get that left hand on top, sliding away from Caleb Joseph as he reaches out for that baseball.
So 2-out RBI for Beltran. And there's a strike taken by Yuli Gurriel, the first baseman. Against this team, Mike, you really have to limit the damage. They have explosive potential. And you look at their numbers, it's amazing how consistent this team has been. They are first in batting, they are first in home runs, and they are first in runs scored. Those are 3 good firsts.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, so you're right. You got to minimize mistakes, minimize extra opportunities.
Fly ball to left for Mancini. Back on it. It's over his head and it's gone. It got out of here in the first row. Wow, on this muggy night, the ball carries, and it's a 3-run inning for the Astros, and they have a 3-0 lead.
Boy, he just reached out there. Looked like a little off balance, but got it on the good part of the bat. His 12th home run. He's having a fine July as well. He pointed out Altuve's month of July. Gurriel, 4 home runs, make it 5 this month. Just making it over the fence. A little paint scraper, but still counts the same. A 2-run shot there.
I think Mancini is stunned that that ball carried over his head.
A breaking ball. He's way off balance, out on that front foot. Gets enough of the good part of the bat on it.
And ball 1 taken by Gonzalez. I think Gurriel was hoping for a double the way he was sprinting around the bases. It wasn't until he got to second base he realized it was out. So a 3-0 lead for the Astros in the first. Marwin Gonzalez having a real good year. 309, as you see, 17 home runs, 55 RBIs, and he plays all over the place.
Yeah, he is the super utility player. Pretty impressive how he can move all around the field, outfield, infield, high leverage positions as well.
That's a fair ball. He sliced it down the left field line. So a double for Marwin Gonzalez keeps this inning going. Ubaldo was 1 out away from getting out of it. And now it's 3-0 with a runner at second base.
Gonzalez picking up his 15th double to go along with 17 long balls this season. Take a look at the 2-seamer, and he stays inside it. Leaks back over the middle of the plate, just hugging the left field line.
And a first inning visit from Roger McDowell. Of course, it has been a challenge with the Orioles starters as they continue to post the highest ERA in the American League. And here are the individual ERA leaders, and there's Ubaldo right at the top.
Yeah, well, I guess the good news is it should be easier to bring that earned run average down than have it go up any higher. But not a good start here for Ubaldo Jimenez, and basically just looking for some consistency. Some good starts, and then obviously not so good starts. He needs this third out, and hopefully the Oriole offense comes out hot again, helps him settle into this ball game.
Brian McCann, the former Yankee, comes in 3 for his last 17. This is a tremendous pickup by the Astros, a veteran catcher. Well, they picked up Reddick, Beltran, and McCann to add to the young youth mix that they have, and it's really been beneficial for A.J. Hinch, their skipper.
Well, yeah, I mean, some quality veteran guys. McCann's been through a lot in his career. Came up with Atlanta to New York. So the experience that he can bring to the table, along with Beltran, I mean, pretty impressive for these young guys to feed off of.
Up foul out of play. 2-2 on McCann.
Typically, some of the best teams have that kind of combination of veteran talent with youth. There's the Astros, some of the best young players in the game today.
3 runs already in. Altuve got it going with a 1-out walk. And he got it. So the inning ends, and Ubaldo gets out of it. A walk, a single, and a 2-run home run. We head to the bottom of the first. Here come the O's. Jones, Machado, and Scope coming up. refreshments as the Orioles come to bat here in the bottom of the first. The Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Jones, Machado, and Scope with Chris Davis batting cleanup. Trumbo fifth, then Mancini and Joseph. Caleb multi-hit games 4 of his last 6 starts. He's been on a tear. Tejada at short and Joey Rickard getting a start in right field.
And let's take a look at Mike Fiers' pitch arsenal this season. He has a lot of pitches, and he is not afraid to use them. He will mix up throughout this whole ball game. And just like the rest of this Astros staff, he does not mind throwing breaking balls, well over 50% off-speed pitches, and relies heavily on that curveball. It's a slow pitch to slow the hitters down, but likes to finish them off with it, burying it in the dirt. Good numbers on the year, that .375 earned run average, holding opponents down to .238, and he's been pitching really well here lately. Sensational month of June, kind of carried over into July as well.
Here's Adam Jones. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Adam has that average up to .267. He's got a 3-game hitting streak going and is 7 for his last 14. And he has homered in back-to-back games and both home runs to right field.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Adam here recently. Using right field, not trying to get too big. Last 3 games he has been on a roll. 500 batting average, a couple home runs, both home runs to right field. One up on the flag court, one driven to right center field. How about the 5 RBIs for Adam Jones at the top of the lineup? We're kind of setting the tone in that last series and hoping to carry it through here into this one against the Astros. Hits by direction starting to balance out with 30 to right now.
Defensive swing, but he got a piece. Well, that's the thing with Adam. When he starts using right field more often, he goes on a tear. Because then all of a sudden he'll start getting more pitches to pull. And he'll jump on those. Still has a very quick bat.
Well, the old saying is you just react in. You set your sights to right center field and react on pitches on that inner third. And Adam Jones is putting himself in a good position to do just that. Pulling the hands through, letting that bat head drag behind, but it's staying above the hands. So he's getting the barrel in a good position. He's being direct to the baseball. He's really covering some tough pitches, especially on the outside corner, covering the top of the zone, which is one of the hardest things to do on a pitch up and away and down and away as well.
Well, a real battle here. And he'll take strike 3 on the outside corner. So you go in there thinking about all that off-speed stuff, and he throws a fastball by you.
Exactly right. And that off-speed pitches helping the fastballs play up. He does not have a power fastball. Instead, he died of pitches up and in. Opens up that outside corner, and you saw that front head leak just a little bit. Take a look at Fiers' delivery, a little turn to the hitter, cross body, but not the overpowering heater there. Just 90 on the outside corner, well located from Fiers.
Here's Manny Machado in the number 2 spot. He is 8 for 25 on the homestand. And he'll take strike 1. Manny in his last 16 games, 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. In the Texas series, the Orioles had tremendous balance top to bottom. Especially with the bottom. I mean, 6 through 9, all 4 games was fabulous.
Yeah, unbelievable job turning it over, but very productive as well. And Machado, 328 this month, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Seeing the ball well, though. 6 walks in the last series.
Fiers ahead of back-to-back hitters 0-2. This is with the breaking ball. The Fiers is out of the Fort Lauderdale area, grew up in Deerfield Beach. And he was drafted by Milwaukee back in 2009, 22nd round pick. He played in college at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, that baseball hotbed.
Right.
Manny to center field and hangs for Springer. Almost went over his head. A little ice cream cone there. And 2 men down. And that'll bring up Jonathan Scope, who is on a tear.
Boy, has he been hot. Really all year long, but this month kind of carrying the team, saying jump on, let's go. He's hitting home runs. He's hitting for average. How about 105 hits to lead the team? Every category he's been first for the Orioles, leading the way. The 19 home runs, 63 RBIs for Jonathan Schoop. And how about all the extra base hits? 44 to lead the way. He's just been a machine, driving the ball all over the place.
And he is now in the top 10 in both hits and RBIs. 302 average. Only Trey Mancini at 305 has a higher batting average than Schoop. And again, fires, gets ahead of a hitter 0-2. 3 consecutive hitters.
You know what you like to see though about Jonathan Schoop, just the steady progression, the steady improvement, and he's in a good place mentally. He's able to make some quick adjustments within at bats and within a ball game. I haven't seen him swinging a lot of bad pitches this year, so knows his strike zone and is direct to it. Okay, he talked last night after the ball game. He's got a good game plan going in. He knows that if they're not going to pitch to him, he's willing to take the walk, pass the baton. He's almost reached a career high in walks already this year.
1-2 on Schoop. And he lets the one bounce in there.
Nice take, a little split finger down at the bottom of the zone. Jonathan's 3-game hit streak, 7 for 13, but 8 RBIs. Are you kidding me? 3 games. It's pretty impressive. Some guys have a hard time getting 8 in a month.
Astros have the shift on against Schoop. And he just got a piece to stay alive.
Take a look at the Astros defense behind. Fires Gonzalez, Springer, and Reddick in the outfield. Bregman getting a start at shortstop. Talk about Correa going down. Gonzalez has slid in there as well. Altuve over at second base. Moran just called up for the injury to Correa, and Uriel over at first base. McCann doing the catching tonight.
2-2 on Schoop. Base is empty. And he got him on a big breaking ball. So a real good start for Fires. 3 up, 3 down. Well, led to the second, 3-0 Astros. Pretty hard to find anything, Mike, that they haven't done well.
Yeah, doing it offensively. The starters have been outstanding, even with a couple setbacks. Keuchel's been on the DL a couple times, and bullpen's done doing just enough. Home runs allowed, tied for 5th. So really, obviously one of the best teams in the game. They're just getting stronger. Unfortunately, a big injury to Correa. With Springer at the top, kind of setting the tone. We have 9 players with 10 or more home runs, so it's a powerhouse offense. And this is just a confidence team right now. They're 16 games up in the American League West.
There's Alex Bregman, who moves over to shortstop with Correa now on the DL. There's Bregman, a first-round pick out of LSU back in 2015, and already a big part of their everyday lineup.
Yeah, Bregman signed as a shortstop at LSU. Showing his versatility, sliding over to third base. Probably also plays second base. Just a well-rounded baseball player.
And the 0-2 is swung on and lifted to shallow center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Not just a tough luck break there for Ubaldo. Real good pitch on the fists, and it finds a hole for a leadoff single.
Now working in, staying short. And take a look at the pitch here. Mercedes pitch cast. Ubaldo getting ahead, driving one down and in. 91-mile-an-hour fastball, well off the plate. Let's get to working with 2 strikes, and Bregman does that. And pesky AB finds outfield grass for the knock.
So again, Ubaldo goes to the stretch. And here is Colin Moran, his first big league appearance of the year. He was tearing it up at AAA, and when Correa was disabled, he got the promotion. And a local tie, of course, because he is B.J. Surhoff's nephew.
Yeah, big time numbers in AAA this season. And, just blowing that league out of the water. Made the All-Star team this season. And huge numbers, 18 home runs in AAA.
And there's a base hit in his first at bat, and it gets by Rickard all the way to the wall, and this is going to lead to a run. Bregman around third easily. He will score. Moran heads to third with a triple. And it's a 4-0 Astros lead.
Boy, that ball was smoked right there. I think Joey Rickard didn't think it was hit that hard. And his pursuit angle a little bit tight. He got about halfway there, realized he was going to have to do something a little bit different. Trying to cut it off from that gap. You got to make a diving effort as that ball gets by him. You see how deep it is on him. Trying to readjust. And ends up making it to the wall. A triple from Moran, and the run scored. Bregman all the way from first base.
You know, the infield drawn in already. The Orioles trailing 4-0 and nobody out. And here's Springer. That was a wild cut. Ended up on his knee. 0-1.
That's a 27 home run cut. More home runs from the leadoff spot before the All-Star break than anyone with those 27.
Well, last year he had 29, and that was a career high. And he's already at 27. Perfect pitch, 0-2.
What gets me, he's doing it with the batting average as well. Up over 300. He's not up there just free swinging. A good idea what he's doing.
Another of the many first-round picks that they hit on when they had their lean years and drafted very high. He was their first-round pick in 2011. Doesn't chase the splitter. And a ball and 2 strikes.
Nice block by Caleb. A tough one so far out in front of the plate. Gary Pettis, the third base coach, and the Astros saying, hey, keep a lookout. Those balls in the dirt. Ubaldo likes to bounce the split finger.
And Moran at third with nobody out. Weak ground ball past the mound. Scope will freeze Moran and get Springer at first, 1 down. And 1 away here with Moran at third. Well, tomorrow the Birds and the Astros are back at it at Oriole Park, and all fans 21 and over receive an Orioles infielders bottle stopper set featuring Davis, Scope, Hardy, and Machado. So come on out and join us for your tickets. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Hey, look at that. Brady and Cal at the game.
That big 25th reunion, everybody coming back in town.
They're trying to settle the world there. Very deep conversation.
Some good baseball minds.
Here's Altuve, fouls it back. Was Brady part of the Orioles front office? VP of baseball ops. Cal's Ironbird team's playing pretty well. There's some good prospects on that team.
Yes, they do.
Infield still in with Moran at third and 1 down. Nice block by Caleb. I mean, it's got to be tough for Ubaldo. You know, runner at third, he's already down 4-0, but you still have to use the breaking ball. You still have to use the splitter. It's a part of his arsenal. And you just have to trust Caleb that he's going to block it.
Absolutely. And he's got a lot of trust in him right now. He's got to make 3 blocks here in this inning.
Weak ground ball. Moran's coming. Tejada will have to play it to first, and he gets Altuve, but the run comes in. Another bad break there. That was a broken bat. It slowed it down. So Tejada, as a result, did not have a play at the plate.
Well, nice play by Tejada. Take a look at Ubaldo. Glass half full. That's what the Orioles are hoping right now. Of course, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And what are you going to get here in this start? I'll tell you, Ubaldo pitched very well down in Houston. Came in relief of Alec Asher and ended up pitching 6 strong innings. His career numbers are outstanding. 4 wins with a 2.87. But a slow start right now. He falls behind 5-0.
Reddick takes a strike. Well, in those 6 starts, 3 wins, 3 losses, his combined ERA 7.55, which is higher than his season ERA. And it's kind of amazing the way the ebb and flow of seasons go, that you can pitch at least well enough in that stretch to win 3 when the ERA is that high overall.
Right. But it also, it just shows you kind of the inconsistencies Ubaldo's been fighting this season.
1-2 as he misses inside. Now, Reddick and the Astros, they've had a couple of 5-game winning streaks this year, and they also had an 11-game winning streak, which was when they began to pull away in the AL West. That was late May into early June. Reddick, his first year with Houston. Now 30 years old. They signed him for 4 years. Weak ground ball is going to be a tough play. Who's going to get there? And the flip, and he's out. Oh, what a play by Davis to get it to Ubaldo.
A little confusion on that play, but boy, even better play by Ubaldo just to make this play on the end. Take a look, little shovel pass, and boom, snares it out of the air.
Zepp of Westminster has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit in the game tonight. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun. And Mike fires with a 5-0 lead. He's faced just 3 batters. Retired Jones, Machado, and Scope in order in the first. And going to work on Chris Davis, who bunts against the shift but foul. Love that idea.
Now take a look at Chris Davis. All 3 hits over the last series. Home runs from the crusher. Now one of them a grand slam. Had 7 stakes in that series. Comes out to start this one with a bunt attempt down that third base line. Now wide open on the left side.
Tries it again. See, to me, that is a real good team at bat. Now, he's fouled them both off, but you're down by 5. You need base runners. I think that is a great team approach.
Yeah, sure. And the fact that he tried it twice.
StatCast powered by AWS. So you see the shift and trying to take advantage of it. Orioles come in. They've won 4 in a row. And Bucks Birds, they last won 5 in a row. You got to go back to May 4th through the 9th when they actually put together a 6-game winning streak, which is their season high. They'll have to come back in this one to get to 5 in a row.
Fires loves to work the high fastball at the top of the zone and bury that curveball down in the dirt. Who plays both those pitches off each other. Right there, Davis. Nice job to keep this AB going, staying short on the high heater.
And the 1-2 pitch upstairs, 2-2. So good at bat here for Chris Davis.
I think that's been the key with this Oriole offense. Some quality ABs. Guys aren't up there just hacking. They have a game plan. Chris Davis obviously thinking about the situation when he stepped up there with the 2 bunt attempts.
He works the count full, 3-2. Now Fires very much is a strikeout pitcher. Ubaldo and Caleb talking it over. Second inning unlucky for Ubaldo, a couple of broken bats. But the triple was ripped and that helped lead to 2 runs. And he walked him. So how about that? Davis 0-2 on the 2 failed bunts, and he works a leadoff walk. And the Orioles have their first base runner of the night. After Sunday's home game here against the Astros, it is time for Kids Run the Bases Day, presented by Wise Markets. All fans ages 4 to 14 can come on out and run the bases just like their favorite birds. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Next to just like that is a good seat by the dugout. Decked out in their orange. And the Orioles looking to answer back. Trumbo takes ball 1.
Well, Fires likes to play that 4-seam fastball up at the top of the zone, and Trumbo, best high ball hitters in the game. He flipped one out to center field yesterday. A solo shot on a high fastball.
Real good off speed pitch.
Nice change.
Well, since June 1st, batting average against Fires at 187. And look at the 4 he trails. Scherzer, Kluber, Kershaw, and Gonzalez. The top 3 have all won Cy Youngs.
Yeah, pretty good.
Gonzalez having a real good year.
You know, Fires made some adjustments. He was getting rocked early on. Actually, there were talks of him maybe getting sent out to the bullpen. But made the adjustments.
Trumbo to right. Marwin Gonzalez is right there. He couldn't get it airborne enough. Davis back to first, 1 down.
Nice short swing from Trumbo. Fires just found the glove, knowing he got away with one right there. Trumbo hoping to get it elevated next time.
The Fires began the year as Mancini steps in, hitting at .305, 6 for 25 on the homestand. Davis at first with 1 down. Trey fouls it off. But you look at Fire's season, Mike. He's made 18 starts. In his first 9, he was just 1-2, and his ERA was 5.21. But ever since the turnaround, he has gone 5-2, and his ERA outstanding, 2.50. So whatever he discovered, he's bottled it, and it's been now 9 consistent starts.
Yeah, well, he discovered how to not give up home runs. He gave up 18 home runs in his first 9 starts. So got into the mixing mode, and now it's just you just can't sit on anything with him. He does not have a pattern. See a couple change-ups here to Mancini. We talked about how he moves the fastball around. It's not overpowering, but likes to work it at top and then the slow hook. So just a steady diet of guesswork for opposing hitters.
The average is just under 9 strikeouts per game. Walks about 3. He was acquired July 30th of 2015 with Carlos Gomez from Milwaukee. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He gets Trumbo and 2 down. 3rd strikeout for Fires.
Well, his best fastball, 94 miles an hour, but everything prior to that, off speed. So helps that fastball play up, and especially when it's up at the top of the zone. Top 3rd right there, 94 to get Mancini.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. I think I said Trumbo, but it was Mancini. Trumbo flied out. So here's Caleb, who's swinging a hot bat. In that batting average right at 299. He's got a 3-game hitting streak working.
Talk about Adam Jones using the right side of the field. Well, Caleb Joseph just staying to the big part as well. Most of his hits on a straightaway center field. If he gets fooled out in front, that's when they'll pull it. If he gets beat by a fastball, to go to right field. But he's thinking drive it to that right center gap.
Towards the middle is shortstop Bregman, and he'll flip to Altuve, and that will end the inning. So leadoff walk, 1 left. We are through 2, 5-0 Astros. And our Dominion National Friday Smiles. Dominion National providing innovative high-value dental and vision benefits to area employers and individuals. Lots of smiles when you come to the ballpark. Good crowd still coming on into Camden Yards on fireworks night. Orioles always draw well on the Friday fireworks nights. And Ubaldo try to quiet this Astros team that has scored 5 runs in 2 innings. Beltran, Gurriel, and Gonzalez coming up here for Houston in the 3rd. Beltran trying to bunt against the shift. It's catching.
Yeah. Well, the importance of pushing runs across the plate. Obviously, here in the middle part of the season, the Astros don't want to let up at all. There's an opportunity there to get a base runner on, and they just saw what the Oriole offense can potentially do. Putting up some big innings. So even though they put up 5 early on, Oriole offense can explode in a hurry.
Beltran now 40 years old. He was drafted by Kansas City in 1995 in the 2nd round out of his native Puerto Rico, and he's still around. And the ball that misses low, 3-1.
A lot of value, great switch hitter. Doesn't quite defend like he used to as a youngster back in the early or mid-90s, but certainly can still swing it.
Father gets a call, 3-2. Well, I don't understand what was going on in Houston. They had this big ceremony. They buried his glove because he never plays defense, and then the next day he's in left field making running catches. Maybe he had to borrow a glove. This one's lifted to right. Rickard is there, and he has it for the out. And one down here in the Houston 3rd. Fans, text Masson's word of the day, which is crab, to 29292 for your chance to win a lunch with Adam Jones and a gift card to the Green Turtle. That's crab to 29292, brought to you by the Green Turtle. Watch every O's game with us. The Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Hang local. Here's Gurriel, and he'll take a strike. Gurriel homer to left field, his first at bat on a ball that nobody thought was going to go except the ball. The ball kept going.
I see Baldo doing a nice job getting ahead here in the early going.
And there's a line drive, and Mancini plays it on a short hop. Fortunate that didn't get by. So Baldo again, the 3-up 3-down inning eludes him, a 1-out single. Fans, lock in your Birdland summer with 2 great fan giveaways featuring the Birds all-star second baseman. First on Tuesday, August 1st, all fans receive a Jonathan Schoop t-shirt. And then on Saturday, August 5th, first 25,000 fans 15 and over receive a Jonathan Schoop bobblehead presented by Ocean City, Maryland. For your tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. And those will be keepers. And souvenirs, memorabilia. Runner at first, 1 down. Ubaldo spent most of the night pitching from the stretch. Marwin Gonzalez slapped a double down the left field line his first at bat, a ball that just stayed fair. 6 hits already for Houston in this game.
We're talking about in his first at bat before he got that base hit, how impressive it was that he can maintain the high batting average and the power. He plays a different position, it seems, every night.
So there's another bloop. And it falls in for a base hit.
A little jam shot right there. You see him shaking the hand. Goes down a winner, riding that pitch hard in on the knuckles. Finding some outfield grass. Keeping the pressure on. That's where Ubaldo's got to work that 2-seamer and then split it, get it down in the zone. And to roll over one.
Well, he's thrown strike 1 to 12 of the 15 hitters, but it hasn't mattered. And Richard Blyer now is going to get loose there with Alan Mills. Brian McCann takes ball 1. McCann struck out his first at bat that ended the first inning. Ubaldo has 112 big league wins. He is 10th all time in wins, pitchers born in the Dominican Republic. That ball's ripped to right field, and Joey Rickard makes a sliding catch. Nicely done, takes a base hit away and 2 men down.
A tough play right there. A little sink on the end. Take a look. This ball smoked. The elevated fastball. He falls behind and actually picking it right off the dirt. Nice little backhand play. Sliding down to the leg and then right up and going to strike to second base.
Wayne Kirby will like that. There's outfield coach. The 2 down. Here's Bregman. Got a rally going in the second.
Bregman having a solid month of July as well. 333. Stolen base threat for this team. Really hit anywhere in the order as well.
He played in only 146 minor league games. First round pick out of LSU, and it shows you the philosophy of the Astros. They already had Correa in the organization. Carlos was their first round pick in 2012, and then 3 years later they went for another shortstop because they felt he was versatile enough to move around, and he has been.
Yeah, some athletic young players for sure.
Lifted to right. Rickard back on it as it carries, keeps on carrying, and at the wall he will make the catch. So a couple of hits and 2 left, mid-third. O's come to bat down by 5. think they're going to need this to continue. They have been an explosive team, and look how they get it going, and it leads to those big innings. This is since July 7th. 17 times they've had multiple run innings, most in the American League, and 7 different times 4 or more.
Yeah, well, they have some power hitters. Of course, they exploded this last series against the Rangers. Had a couple big innings, a 7-run inning and a 6-run inning. They had 4 home runs. I don't know, in 2 separate ball games. So a dangerous lineup. 6 players with 15 or more home runs. So they can do some damage in a hurry, and especially the way they're feeling right now. Get shut out here. But once they start swinging, it seems like everything contagious for this offense, and they can get you.
Ruben Tejada will lead off against Fiers. Orioles still looking for their first hit. They've had 1 base runner on a walk. And Tejada takes strike 1. Mike Fiers has struck out 3, walked just the 1, in search of his 7th win of the year. Tejada's been swinging a hot bat. This ball's blooped down the right field line and falls in for a base hit. So he stays hot and is on with the leadoff single, and the Orioles' first base hit of the night. Here's our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Well, let's take a look at Brennan Hanafy, only 19 years old, one of the younger players on the Ironbirds this year. Big kid, 6'5", a 4th-round pick, 2016, out of Ashby High School in Bridgewater, Virginia. How about the start to his pro career? 4-0 with a 1.61. 5 starts, 4 of them quality. Pretty impressive stuff for Hanafy. Started the season on an extended spring, but once a short season picked up in Aberdeen, he picked up as well.
Here's strike 1 to Rickard. Yeah, we see that quite a bit when the Orioles draft high school pitchers. The year they're drafted, they really just kind of work out, get their adjustments to the area in Sarasota, and then the following year they go to spring training and then stay and extended and then go to a short season team. The high school pitchers they tend to bring along more slowly. Bregman, outstanding play, throws high, and Rickard with his speed, he beats it out. So the Orioles have back-to-back hits and 2 on with none down.
Well, Bregman showing the range, that shortstop range, filling up the hole. And with the speed of Rickard, can't set up on the backside, so making a running throw, trying to get it there. Not much on target, but Rickard's speed wins that battle. The Orioles threatening once again. And bottom of the lineup, getting things going for the Oriole offense. Take a look at Rickard. Oh, snuffing that hit. Puts the head down and turns on the Jets.
Putting on the protective pad for sliding, so 2 on with none out. Orioles down by 5. Would love to chip away here. Adam Jones has been on a tear. He has homered in back-to-back games and has 3 straight multi-hit games. Right field, not deep. Reddick in on it. Runners will have to hold and 1 down.
Just enough movement on his fastball. The Orioles been seeing 95 and up here recently. Fiers kind of slowing it down, but being very effective with 89-mile-an-hour heat right there, running in on the hands of Adam Jones.
Only the 2nd start in his career against the Orioles, and last year he beat the Birds right here at Camden Yards. That was on August the 20th. 7 strong innings. The only run he allowed was a Chris Davis solo homer. Those could use a long ball here to get right back in it. Tejada at 2nd, Rickard at 1st, and 1 down. Manny lined out to center his first at bat. Good looking breaking ball, 0-1.
And he covered that baseball. He continues to hit the ball hard. Highest consistent exit velocities off his bat in the league. Unfortunately, a lot of tough luck for Manny this season.
Ball and a strike on Machado. Fiers in his 7th season. He has 40 wins, 41 defeats. And a pretty impressive ERA career-wise, 3.85 in this era. That's saying something.
Sure is.
Wouldn't chase 2-1.
Many good numbers with runners in scoring position. That .297 batting average. Showing some good patience right now in this opportunity.
It's first and second with one down, and Manny looking for his first home run since the All-Star break. He last homered in Minnesota. There's a very slow pace to this game with these two pitchers tonight. 2-1, it swung on and lined to center field, and again it hangs up for Springer. 2 down. 2 line drives right on the nose, both right at Springer.
Man, that's tough. That's why this game can be so cruel at times. It's not the fact that Manny isn't having some good at bats. Both EBs very good, quiet in the box. Finally gets a pitch to handle. Couple missiles right at the center fielder. Go back thinking, what can I do differently? You really don't have to change anything. Stick with that approach. A fraction of an inch. Both those balls could potentially be home runs to center field.
Jonathan Schoop struck out his first at bat. Schoop has an RBI in 4 consecutive games. 3-game hitting streak, batting .538 during the streak. So it was first and second, nobody out. First and second and 2 down. Now Fire is part of the starting rotation, and the Astros have a very unusual roster makeup for this series. They have 9 relievers, 3 men on the bench, and A.J. Hinch right now has only 4 starters listed as active. Now that could be because Musgrove has made some starts as in their bullpen. And Keuchel's on the DL. Borderline pitch, and Schoop did not get the call. 1-1.
Well, maybe Gonzalez can pitch as well. Play every position, hit home runs. Might be the backup starter.
Was looking for a big 2-out hit. 2-1.
Fire's moving that fastball around on the inside corner there. Changing the elevations. Jonathan's feet.
Two on with 2 down. That ball's blooped. That's trouble. Falling in there for a base hit. And here's Tejada to score, and the Orioles get on the board. So the Orioles get a bloop of their own. It's a 5-1 game.
It just takes one. It's not for Tejada getting things going. The base hit. Here's where the Orioles will be right now. So the bottom of the order coming through, and Jonathan Schoop battling with the 2 outs on the board. Just out of reach. Now the first baseman, Uriel, picks up a stake on the end. And Jonathan Schoop continues the torrid pace.
So Schoop, another RBI, is 64th. And an RBI now in 5 straight games. And here's Davis. Long ball here. It's a brand new game, Mike. And Davis has a home run against Fires. His only hit. He's 1 for 2 against them with a home run. Way upstairs. Nice play by McCann. 1-0.
Wow. That would help the Orioles right there. Yoiksing away on a breaking ball. Slips out of the hands. And nice play. Veteran backstop there. Jumping out of the squat. Save it from reaching the brick wall.
Yeah, the pitching coaches are always taking notes. Brent Strom there on the Astros bench. That's a real good take there. You're not going to do much with that. He's trying to get you to chase and just let it bend outside.
He had a great at-bat. His first AB, first 2 pitches showed bunt, tried to get it down there with the big shift on. Ended up drawing an impressive walk. They're falling behind it. 0-2. Oh, he's in at the advantage.
And the fastball right down the middle. So again, they keep getting you thinking about the breaking balls and the off-speed pitches. And pitching backwards, very effective for this Astros team. Their starters are the best in the American League, 43-20. And their starters ERA is 3.89, lowest in the league.
And they are one of those teams that throws less than 50% fastballs. It keeps hitters guessing.
Fiers has 6 of the starters' 43 wins, which is the most in the league from the starting rotation, and their 20 losses are the fewest of any starting rotation. So they have it going in all directions. So Davis got ahead looking at a couple of breaking balls, and now the count's even on 2 fastballs. First and third with 2 down and run in, 5-1 Astros. Scope runs, swinging a bouncer, that is foul. Gurriel gloved it, but a foul ball.
The idea put Scope in action right there. Some movement. The Orioles have been real aggressive here, running the bases. Manny Machado had a little delay steal in the last series. First to third. A lot of attention to detail in that last series with good energy. One swing of the bat here to bring that energy right back.
Another 2-2 pitch to Davis. Scope runs again, and it's outside. Throw to second base. Jonathan is stuck. It gets by, and he steals the base. As Bregman, and what do they call him?
Strike 3.
Strike 3. I did not see the hand go up. So strike 3, and that's why Bregman gave up on it. So the Orioles get a run. We head to the 4th, 5-1 game. Baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Muggy night downtown, 5-1 Astros. Orioles left 2 on the called strikeout. Jonathan Scope picking up the RBI. And here's Colin Moran, his second at bat. Ball 1.
Colin Moran, triple in his first at bat in the major leagues this season. This is his 3rd stint major league level. Called up a couple times last year.
Well, his uncle B.J. Surhoff, of course, played 19 years in the major leagues, 8 of those here with the Orioles. And B.J. had 2,326 career hits. And bounces in for ball 2.
Now, this young man, very similar to BJ in the sense, big kid, solid approach offensively. The numbers he put up in AAA should be carrying that confidence right over here to the major league level. Great opportunity for him.
Fly ball to right. Rickard is back, has a play, and Joey puts it away for the out, and 1 down. Here's our Heritage Automotive Road Ahead. Heritage Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit us in store or online at heritagedealers.com. A night game tomorrow, and then Sunday a day game to close it out at home. Tomorrow and Sunday on WJZ as well. And then we are off to Tampa. Tropicana Field in St. Pete. Night game Monday, night game Tuesday, and a noon game on Wednesday. Check swing, he didn't go.
The Orioles, certainly it's never easy, but tested here against the Astros. And the way Tampa's been playing. Sneaking up in the American League East.
They're back home following their West Coast trip, and they take on Houston, the Texas Rangers tonight, while the Orioles take on Houston. So Texas trying to take out their frustrations on the Rays to help out the Orioles.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Springer's 0 for 2. He has struck out and bounced out the scope. Very close pitch.
Aldo making some good pitches here to Springer. Good splitties. Nice little fastball there at the bottom of the strike zone, but falls behind here. Favorable count for Springer right now. The big numbers he's had against the Orioles.
And a base hit. And he just can't get that clean inning. There's a 1-out single for George Springer. Now the Orioles will open up a 3-game series on Monday, July 31st. Their next homestand with the Kansas City Royals coming to town. Game time for all 3 games, 7:05. And on Tuesday, August 1st, all fans receive the Jonathan Scope T-shirt. Tickets start as low as $15 and are available. So come on out and join us. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. I really like the new design with the T-shirts with the name in the Orioles script on the front.
All right.
It's very clever.
Yeah, looks good.
Here's Altuve. Chased the fastball 0-1.
Boy, an exploding fastball trick right there. It's 90 miles an hour, but rides up and in hard to Altuve. He saw it up in the zone, but a little extra life there from Ubaldo.
Same pitch, and he had the same result. I'll show you. 0-2.
Altuve back-legged. Yeah, he's got some power as well. Just a average hit for average hitter. With 14 long balls on the season.
Just got a piece. Altuve just 27, and he's in his 7th season out of Venezuela. Already has a couple of batting titles, and he began the night leading the league in hitting at .353. And Mike, he put together, this is amazing, 5 consecutive games with 3 hits in each game. Last person to do that was George Brett in 1976. Runner from first goes, the pitch is swung on and fouled off.
Yeah, pretty impressive. He could do a lot of things up there with that kind of speed. Obviously beat out the little infield singles, but the power keeps everybody honest out there as well. Driving balls in the gap, make a mistake to him, he's going to make you pay in a hurry.
Springer back to first, good lead. He runs again, and a swing and a miss. Caleb's throw is high, and Springer has the base.
Yeah, Caleb, not much time really get his feet underneath him. Both attempts throwing a base stealer out. He's had to dig it out of the dirt and actually make the off balance throw. Springer in there well ahead of Caleb's attempt here. You see the slider spike down and away. Nice job for the finishing pitch to get Altuve. But, with Springer's speed, out scoring position now with 2 outs.
Here's Josh Reddick, who is 0 for 2. Runner at second and 2 down.
Good heater right there to get into the count. That's a two-seamer we talk about, trying to keep these lefties honest with that pitch. And he'll bust a little four-seamer in there, and he'll cut a fastball as well. So he can do the crisscross action.
Josh Reddick is a native of Georgia. He was drafted originally by the Red Sox, and they traded him to Oakland, and it's in Oakland where he really developed into a solid everyday major league player. And still, he's just 30, so he still has some good baseball ahead. So the 4-year deal, not too much of a gamble for a position player. Swings through the off-speed pitch, 2-2.
Well, Baldos is doing a good job getting ahead tonight, and that split fingers playing very well. Swing and misses with that pitch. And playing it off the fastball, so throwing enough heaters, get them jumpy, trying to clear out on especially that two-seamer inside, helping that splitty play up.
Springer dancing off second base. Line right towards Tejada. Oh, he plays a tough hop and gets his man. That ball was smoked, and Tejada plays the short hop and gets the out. Nicely done by Ruma Tejada. So base hit, a man left, mid-4th, 5-1 Astros. Together this year, the Astros swept the series in Houston, Mike, and at Minute Maid Park, really, it was dominated by the Astros.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, outpitched. I think that was the key, really shutting down the Oriole offense. Of course, the Orioles team earned run average up over 5. That isn't conducive to keep this Astros team down. They scored 5 runs per game. So the Orioles hoping pitching stays consistent. Just coming off a real solid series against the Rangers. They find themselves behind a little bit right now. Need a couple more clutch hits.
Sharply hit, almost got Bobby Dickerson. On 1 on Trumbo. Mark lined out to left field this first at bat, right on it, but right at the left fielder Gonzalez. O's have won 4 in a row and 6 of 9 to get back within 3 of 500. There's Sky, downtown Baltimore. And without a doubt, the summer weather is here.
Yes, it sure is.
High fly ball to left center field. He got under it. Springer calls off the left fielder Gonzalez, and he makes the catch. This is the time of night where it's tough for the outfielders because the lights have not yet taken effect. Orioles fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with the promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Here's Mancini, who struck out his first at bat. Orioles have 3 hits to go with their 1 run, 5-1 Astros. And a strike.
Yeah, not really knocking the cover off the ball right now. Fire's getting just enough movement on everything. Like the Orioles taking a couple healthy cuts. Certainly Manny Machado, the only one that's hitting the ball hard. Looks like there's some good swings, but just enough movement to get it either off the end of the bat or off the label.
And he's been very unpredictable the way he's been mixing it up.
Yeah, that is the key. Get him guessing a little bit in between.
Strike 3 right down the middle. So Mancini's over 2 with a couple of Ks and 2 down. Fires with 5 strikeouts.
Well executed fastball here. Brings a 2-seamer back. 91 miles an hour. What the location. Driving it down and away. Picking up that outside quadrant.
Here's Caleb Joseph, who bounced out his first at bat. Fielder's choice ended the inning when Davis was forced at second base. Hold foul.
Split finger there. Changing speeds, changing locations, changing eye levels, high fastball, and the curve down.
Breaking ball for a strike. Breaks down on the inside corner.
To 69 miles an hour. And slow hook. Helps that fastball play up. It can either spike the curveball or ride a heater up to the top of the zone.
Outside. So 2-2 on Joseph. And he stays alive. When the Astros acquired Fires from the Brewers along with Carlos Gomez, they got sent 4 prospects to Milwaukee. And 2 of those prospects, Domingo Santana, is their starting right fielder in Milwaukee. And now Josh Hader, the former Oriole prospect, is in their bullpen. So 2 of the 4 the Astros sent on the current active roster with Milwaukee. That ball is blooped to right field. Charging in is Reddick, and it's off his knee, it looked like. And he hustles to get it and hold Caleb to a single.
Now another pitch, not hit too hard here. A little jam shot riding the heater inside. You see the 2-seam action. And, Reddick, a nice sliding effort. Over boogieing on the effort. Catches him off the wrist and then kicks away. Joseph keeps the inning going with the base knock.
Right off his right knee or just above his right knee. So off the glove and then the knee, and it deflects. And Caleb has a base hit. Here's Tejada, who got the rally going in the 3rd with a leadoff single.
Keep it going, if nothing else. Force Fires to throw more pitches. Keep some pressure on them.
Left field, that chases Marwin Gonzalez back, still backpedaling, and at the wall he makes the catch. So Tejada gives it a ride, but the ballpark holds it. We'll enter the 5th. Fires and the Astros have the lead. is brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in You, and by the University of Maryland Medical System. Be part of something greater. Oriole Park 5-1 Astros. They got 3 in the first and 2 in the second. And in the first inning, all 3 runs driven in with 2 men down. And Baldo back to work. Still looking for his first clean inning. And the pitch count starting to mount on him. 82 to get through 4 innings.
I would like a clean inning, but a 0 just as good. Back in there and get the Oriole offense another chance.
Beltran singled the drive in the first run. He jumped on the first pitch in the first inning. Ubaldo, of all Dominican pitchers, is 10th on the all-time win list. He has 112 big league wins to go with 111 losses. So just like what we showed before, his last 6, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. He's 112 and 111 in his career. Juan Marichal, the Hall of Famer, is the all-time Dominican pitching leader with 243 wins. And Bartolo Colon is second. And he's still active, although apparently he's beginning to contemplate retirement. Strike 3 call, fastball right there.
Yeah, beauty. Beauty from Ubaldo. Slows him down with a good split finger. And then pulls the 2-seamer back. How about that nice action at 93 miles an hour. Nice call by Caleb Joseph. Well executed by Ubaldo. You see that little hip flinch by Beltran. Opening up the inner edge.
Here's Gurriel and the big blow in the first inning. 2-run home run. He made a 1-run inning a 3-run inning.
Yeah, unfortunate break. A bad break for Ubaldo. A good slider. Got him off balance and out in front. And, somehow find a way to get it to carry.
And he hits it against the shift. For a base hit, so the Astros have at least 1 hit in each of their first 5 at-bats. Fans, help support the patients and the families at the University of Maryland Medical Center by attending a special fundraising event for Shannon's Fund. It'll be on Friday, August 18th, right here at Oriole Park. Ticket packages for the event begin as low as $50 and include a game ticket and an exclusive pregame barbecue. For tickets and more information, please visit Orioles.com/Shannon's Fund. And it'll be great to see Shannon's mom at that event. Mrs. O'Baker always comes, and
yeah, it's always
Shannon's sisters and
real good time out there.
Extended family. Bordy always ends up being the star of the event for some reason.
I have a good time out there. That's a fun place. Center field, up on the deck, great view. Of course, that's a wonderful cause to be out there.
Yep, it's good to get together and remember your friend. Double play ball. Scope plays the hop to Tejada. Back to Davis. So he didn't have a clean inning, but he had a 3-batter inning, and the double play ends it. Mid-5th at Camden Yards. Birds come to bat, down by 4.
The Geico highlights. Orioles taking on the first place Houston Astros, and Ubaldo gets touched here. Nice little slider on the outside corner. Gets Uriel out in front. Only 97 miles an hour exit velocity, but it's a 2-run shot. The Astros make 3 marks in the first inning, and Jonathan Scope staying red hot, picking up a knock and a team-leading 64th RBI. Get the Orioles on the board. Look at the score, 5-1. Astros here at the bottom of the 5th. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Joey Rickard leads off. Then Adam Jones and Manny Machado against Fires. Ball 1 inside, good take. Joey singled to get Tejada in the scoring position in the 3rd, where he then scored on the blue pit by Scope. And another bloop, but this one's going to fade back foul. Joey now 4 hits on the homestand, and he's getting a start tonight against a right-handed starter because Fires has been a reverse split guy. So even though Seth Smith has been hot with a 5-game hitting streak, he's not in the lineup tonight. His lefty bat on the bench. Fires has handled lefties a little better than righties this year. Lefties batting .229 and the righties .249, so not that much of a difference, but still it's +20.
I think Buck also realizing how important defense is going to play in this, limiting extra opportunities for this Astros offense. Really a good defender in the outfield.
Joey's a solid player on this team, and as a young player, he's adjusted to being a role player. He's ahead 3-1. Ball. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was ball 4. So did Joey, and so did Buck.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the fastball here. Not afraid to work inside with the heater, getting some life and just catching upper inside corner. Tough call right there on Joey Rickard.
And he got him on an off-speed pitch. So Rickard down on strikes, 1 away. That's number 6 for Fires.
Split finger change. 3-2 count. Take a look at the tumbling action. Stays in the middle of the plate, but starting to get the hitters a little jumpy on that inside corner. Pulls enough off of that fast, or splitting 83 miles an hour to get Rickard out in front.
Adam Jones has struck out and flied out to right. And you see the shift on against Adam on the left side, with Altuve moving over on the shortstop side. With Gurriel, the only infielder, on the right side. Hold down the line, but foul. You know, nowadays, Mike, it's rare if there isn't a shift to a batter.
You got that right. Yeah, there aren't many hitters in the game that defenses are going to play straight up. It's kind of weird too. Adam Jones, his last 5 hits have come to right field, so the Astros saying, heck with that. We're sticking with the tendencies we've seen throughout his career, and they're just sliding everybody over. Go ahead, try it again, hitting the right field.
And the way he's been swinging, it's wide open for him on that side. 96 hits now for the year for Adam. Trying to go that way, and he popped it up. And it's going to get back out of play, a couple of rows back. Well, Scope has 106 hits. Adam has 96, and Trumbo has 93, so 3 over 90. Oriole fans want to get going here.
Yeah. They're waiting for something.
And the 2-2 to Jones. Foul back.
Had Fires on the ropes in the third. One swing away from a few more runs on the board. And Fires coming up with some big pitches. And minimizing the damage there in the third inning. But, keeping them off balance. A lot of hard hit balls in this ball game from the Orioles.
Another 2-2 pitch. Almost hit him. Ball 3. Breaking ball slipped out of his hand.
He's lost that pitch a couple times. Up in the zone. Might be the humidity. A little slick with some sweat. You see another one. He's lost up in the top, up and over the head of Adam Jones.
7th pitch is fouled off. StatCast brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Baltimore area Chevy dealer. So you see that shift, and even though, as Mike pointed out, Adams been going pretty steady diet to right field, the Astros don't believe him. They're going to play him the pull.
Man, tough. They're all deep on the back side of that left of the infield on the left side. And tough to get one through there.
And he got him on a real good breaking ball. So back-to-back Ks, 2 down.
Man, a lot of off-speed pitches. Loses that breaking ball, but split finger's been coming up big. Really helping that fastball play up. Good late dive on that one.
So Adam is 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Here's Manny, who has hit 2 solid line drives right on the nose, each time right at the center fielder Springer.
And Manny's laid off some tough pitches in both at bats and waited out pitch he can handle. And tough luck with those 2 line drives.
Well, in the first inning, you showed the fans the pitch repertoire of Fires. And what'd you have on there, 6 or 7? 7?
Yeah, a lot.
I think that's why it takes him about a minute and a half between pitches, because there's so many signs going down. I mean, I can't believe we've seen a slower working pitcher all year than Fires.
Right.
And that has to be part of it. The repertoire's there. He's got a lot of choices, and McCann doesn't mind going through the signals.
Yeah, it takes the catcher's glove off at times, get the 6th and 7th finger down.
Ground ball up the middle, and wouldn't you know it, there's Altuve right in the shift, takes a base hit away from Machado, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. We will head to the 6th, 5-1 Astros. Hero, Birdline Community Hero, is Private First Class Cody Klosinski. Prior to entering the Army, Private First Class Kluzinski volunteered over 200 hours as a Baltimore County Police Explorer, where he held the rank of sergeant and was responsible for introducing various phases of law enforcement to 40 children and young adults. In the Army, PFC Kluzinski volunteers with the Active Honor Salute program and began volunteering for the Hospice of the Chesapeake, spending much of his time visiting the veterans in hospice care and thanking them for their brave service to our country. We thank Private First Class Cody Kluzinski for his service to our country as a member of the military and a volunteer in his local community as a Birdland community hero. One and one on Brian McCann. Valdo had a 3-batter, 8-pitch inning in the 5th. McCann, Bregman, and Colin Moran, lower third of the lineup here in the 6th. There's a fly ball to center field that chases Jones back at the warning track. That ball's going to go into the bleachers, and a home run for Brian McCann. And once again, the Astros with a 5-run lead. It's 6-1 Houston.
Now Baldo now pitching into the 6th inning. Doing a good job putting some zeros up on the board, but McCann making a play right there. Elevated fastball. Take a look here. He's trying to get that 2-seamer in there. Boom, up and out over. Pretty good swing there by the veteran catcher. 12th home run of the season.
And he passes Javi Lopez on the all-time home run list for catchers. Ball 1 to Alex Bregman. McCann was tied with Javi Lopez, 243, 9th all-time. So he is 9th place all by himself now. Most home runs by a catcher. Bregman singled and scored in the 2nd, getting that rally going. He's also flied out on a nice play by Rickard in right field. Chopper to short. Tejada charges, plays the in-between hopper with that strong arm, gets it to first, 1 down.
Tejada not only swinging the bat here in the month of July, but playing an exceptional shortstop.
So Richard Blyer is going to come on. The left-handed batting Colin Moran is due up. So Baldo will go 5 1/3, allowing 6 earned runs.
Five and a third, the Astros, offense stayed on him from the beginning, pounding out the 10 hits, 6 earned runs for Jimenez. 5 punch-outs, just the 1 walk, but that pitch count elevated early. 97 pitches thrown. We'll give the way to Richard Blyer. Blyer has been on a roll out of the Orioles bullpen here recently. Just 1 earned run in 25 1/3 innings work, lowering his earned run average down to that 1.34. Pretty impressive stuff from Blyer. Opponent's hitting just 246, containing both the lefties and the righties this season. Only 2 home runs on the board. Nice little sinker, can cut the fastball, and good change as well.
Looking Bobby Dickerson on the bench. So here's Moran. He'll take ball 1. Moran his first at bat in the big leagues this year, an RBI triple to right field. Ubaldo chased, and unless the Orioles rally, he will fall to 4 and 6. Blyer last worked on Monday against Texas, and he got the win against the Rangers. Scoreless inning. That was the 3-1 game, the only non-blowout win for the Orioles. Here's a bouncer to Davis, backs up to play the hop. And 2 down.
Nice play by Chris Davis or the infield. Been sharp here lately. Fine defensive plays. Take a look at the chopper here as Chris Davis. The big drop step. Ball kicks up on him.
Yeah, it looked like he came up higher than he thought. You saw he turn his face to make sure he protected it there.
Yeah. Trying to get the eyes behind the baseball. He really did there.
He has been playing some kind of first base. Here's George Springer. It seems like he's been up 7 times already. Just his 4th plate appearance in 6 innings. The Astros now have 10 hits with that McCann home run. This Astros team, they have incredible balance.
Well, they've been consistent with it for the most part all season long. The Orioles have pretty good balance. We've seen that past last series, but there have been some inconsistencies. But things are kind of looking up in the sense that they're getting healthy. Chris Davis back after a long stint on the disabled list.
Ooh, look out. Scorching line drive past Blyer for a 2-out single.
Yeah, that ball came back hot through the middle. Picking up his 2nd hit. Whoa. And that was by Blyer before he knew it.
Well, Springer has a 2-hit game. His 35th multi-hit game on the year.
And it came back hot all right. 112 miles an hour. And that ball back through the box. I know Blyer felt that one.
Jose Altuve walked, stole 2nd, and scored in the 1st. Also has an RBI and a ground out. He also has a base hit. So the league's leading hitter keeps it going with a 2-out single, 1st and 2nd for the Astros. Fans, MLB.tv every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Josh Reddick is 0 for 3. He's the only Astro without a hit until now. Ground ball single up the middle. That'll score Springer. Throw behind Altuve, but the scope was too far off the bat. So 3 consecutive hits off Blyer, and it is 7-1.
Man. Just keep pounding out the hits. 13 hits tonight. Clean singles there. Another run crosses the plate.
So all 9 Astros have at least 1 hit. Altuve at 2nd with Reddick at 1st for Beltran. So Blyer, as Mike told you, even on some kind of an extended roll, but the Astros get to him for a run. Beltran 1 out of 3. His RBI single came in the 1st inning. And right-handed against Blyer.
Blyers earned opportunities to pitch in more high leverage situations. Bucks used him as the bridge man to try to eat up some innings. And he always talks about his tempo and his ability to keep the defense on their toes. Just kind of gets the ball, rocks and fires, throws a lot of strikes.
This ball is trouble. A bloop out there. Davis, a diving catch. He made the play. Chris Davis just saved the run. He ends the inning. One of the better plays you're going to see. Back to the infield, the overhand catch. Davis has it for the out.
Wow.
Friday night at Camden Yards. And Mike, how about this play by Davis to end the top of the sixth?
Yeah, pretty amazing. One of the best athletes on this team, and he gets an incredible first step. How about the acrobatic catch on the run over the shoulder? Pretty impressive for the big man, especially in a long inning. It has been a slow game. Still come up with a play like that. It shows his focus on the baseball.
Strike one to Jonathan Scope. 1 out of 2 with an RBI single. The Orioles' lone RBI. Flyers in cruise control now with a 6-run lead. Altuve has a play near the bag and 1 down.
He has just been all over the knuckles of the Orioles hitters. And he's working about 90, 91 miles an hour with the fastball. He's moving it in. The Orioles thinking about the off-speed stuff so much. And fastball playing up.
And again, the shift on against Chris Davis. Line to right, but it hangs up there for Reddick, and he has it for the out. And 2 down, and 2 quick outs here in the 6th inning. Fires holding the Orioles so far to a run. The Birds have scored 2 runs or less in 29 of their games this year. And 2 quick outs. He's retired 6 in a row, and here's Trumbo. Mark's had a tough homestand. He's 5 for 28. Does have a couple of home runs though and 4 RBIs.
Well, he's been a little bit in between, and frustration starting to build. But that'll certainly put a smile on your face. A helmet full of ice cream.
1-1 on Mark, 2 outs and the base is empty.
Just 90 miles an hour. So maybe some deception. He's got that arm stab in the back. Makes it a little bit long, and then this heater getting all over the hitters.
And Strom hasn't had to make too many notes on his clipboard there. Overthrows that fastball.
I wanted that one up at the top of the zone. That's 2 strikes. But, yanking it. You see that 4th pitch all outside.
Right field, it hangs for Reddick. And he's got it. So Fiers has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings on 8 pitches. Through 6, 7-1 Astros. July the 21st, back in 2008, Randy Johnson of Arizona became the first major leaguer collecting 2,000 strikeouts for 2 different teams. He had 2162 with Seattle from 1988 through 1998, and then picked up 2,000 in Arizona. 1947, Frankie Frisch, the first switch hitter to be inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. Of course, the Fordham Flash. He was joined in that class by Carl Hubble, Mickey Cochran, and Lefty Grove, the newest to be enshrined. He also managed in the major leagues for 16 years, and it was Frankie Frisch who coined the phrase, "Oh, those bases on balls." When he was a manager, apparently his Pirates teams had pitchers that didn't throw a lot of strikes. Oh, those bases on balls. The Fordham Flash from Fordham University.
Boy, what a career.
Flyer stays on, 1-1 on Gurriel. He allowed a run after taking over for Ubaldo on 3 straight singles in the 6th.
Proud to say too, I was
and a base hit past Machado. That ball was smoked off the bat of Gurriel. He is 4 for 4.
Man, what a night. Moving the ball all over the place. The home run. Starting to feel comfortable up there. Whistling one down the left field line. Take a look right here. That came off hot. Oh, man, he barely moving there as it gets by him. Settling in the corner. And pick up a double. 27th double of the year. What I was going to say, proud to say I'm one of 2,000 strikeouts, both with the Mariners and the Diamondbacks, Randy Johnson. More than one.
You should be proud of being on somebody's record list.
Yeah.
Al Downing gave up a lot of home runs. He also just happened to give up Hank Aaron's 715th. Marwin Gonzalez will bat right-handed against Blyer.
Nice change up right there from Blyer. He's really good at mixing up his pitches as well. Be soft down and away to the righties. And firm it up with a little cut action in on the hands.
14 base hits tonight for the Astros. Right to Manny. He'll look the runner back. And one down as Gonzalez bounces out to Machado. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Number 1 foam finger. She doesn't mind that it's hot.
And she'd like to see some more hits on the Orioles side, though. Get back in this ball game.
Brian McCann's solo home run in the 6th. Blyer, one of 3 relievers in the Orioles pen. Fastball for a strike.
And the Orioles bullpen pretty fresh, actually, right now, as the starters got consistently deep into ball games, or deeper into the ball games in the Rangers series.
And we got a look there of how crowded that Astros bullpen is, with 9 relievers active in that bullpen tonight. Look at the crowd. Not enough seats. You got the coaches, the catchers, and 9 relievers. The 1-2 on McCann. Hit towards Tejada, plays the hop. And 2 down. Now the bullpen last 4 games, they've really turned it on. That was in the Texas series.
Yeah, they sure have. 13 innings pitched, 2.08 earned run average. And I've been holding the opponents down to that 196 batting average. We talked about that Mendoza line. Now opponents below it. Only 3 walks, 11 punch outs. So yeah, Orioles bullpen, getting Zach Britton back in the end. Everybody kind of falling back into place. We talked about the health of this team. Well, the bullpen is healthy and strong right now. Chris Davis back. That young man right there, boy, has he been hot. Slinging up high 90s fastball, solid slider and changeup mix. And Castro seeing more high leverage situations. Everybody throwing the ball well on the O's bullpen.
And a fly ball to shallow center field. Adam Jones will get in on it. And he's got it for the out. So leadoff double, a man left. 7th inning stretch at Camden Yards. Astros in front. A Hyundai Better Than Ever sales event with the best total savings on select models in Hyundai's history. It's going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Orioles come to bat in the 7th, trailing 7-1. They've been out hit 14-4. Mike Fiers is keeping them in check. 25,784 here on fireworks night. Enjoying their 7th inning stretch.
And the Orioles would start to put some pressure on Fiers. Cruising through this ball game, shut down a red-hot offense.
Oriole Bird getting them going. Fans still showing their enthusiasm despite the scoreboard. So that's what those ladies were doing. They wanted to be the one the Bird dances with.
Oh yeah.
You see, he was going no. So we'll go to the 7th here for the O's, and Fiers is pitching a gem. Just 1 run on 4 hits.
Yeah, real pitch efficient. See, ton of strikes thrown in there, mixing it up pretty well.
Trey 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Joseph and Tejada will follow here for the O's in the 7th. There have been a few balls hit hard off Fiers, Mike, but really not that many. The ball's moving all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of jam shots with some fastballs inside.
Center field, that's going to fall for a base hit for Mancini. Well, the O's get a leadoff single.
Off-speed pitch that stays in the middle of the plate for Mancini. Nice stroke right back through the box.
And his 88th hit of the year. Caleb Joseph singled his last at bat, 1 out of 2. Looking to extend a streak to 4 consecutive multi-hit games. He's had 3 in a row. 1 for 2 here tonight. But Showalter before the game was talking about Caleb and Castillo, and right now they're each swinging hot bats. And he made the point that when it's this hot and consistently hot, you really have to utilize both catchers. You just can't wear one of them down.
Yeah, unfortunately, both swinging the bat really well. Pitchers like throwing either pitcher.
Over the head of Altuve for a base hit. Mancini had to wait, so Caleb does in fact have a 4th consecutive multi-hit game. He's 2 for 3.
Now Altuve didn't know how to judge that one. A little jam shot off the bat, time in the line drive, hit a little hard. Let's take harder than he thought. Let's take a step back by then. A little too late. It floats up and over the head. Just catch a little break right there. Put some pressure on. Back-to-back knocks.
Caleb on. And here's Ruben Tejada with Mancini and Joseph aboard. Ruben singled and scored the Orioles run in the 3rd. Fiers 4-3 in his career against the East. A very good ERA, 3.67. And his season trend with the run support is continuing here tonight. Fly ball to center field. Springer towards left center. He's got it for the out. Mancini bluffs tagging. And 1 away.
The pitch that works in on the hands.
Feliz getting up, Michael Feliz. The Fiers in his home starts has an ERA of 2.85. yet he's just 2-3. In his road starts, his ERA is 4.79, but he's 4-1. And one of the obvious reasons is the run support. In road games, they're getting him 5.75 runs per game. At home, it's about 3.5. Yeah. And they have 7 on the board for him here tonight.
Yeah, making him feel comfortable on the road for sure. They spotted him some runs early on that I think really helped Fire settle into this ball game.
Joey Rickard now first and second with 1 out. Upstairs. Ball 2.
Big at bat rate here. Joey Rickard can put something together, find a way to get on. Can be a knock or base on balls. Turn this lineup back over. Some of these thumpers going at the top of this lineup. So a pretty good scoring opportunity for the O's.
A little bit out in front, hit well, but foul. 2-1.
Yeah, he's missed his location plenty of times with the fastball, but it seems to always end up on that inside corner with a little life. When the Oriole hitters pick that fastball, usually catching it on one that's moving in off the plate. We've seen him yank a few balls foul down the line.
And 2-1 on Rickard. I was looking for an extended inning here against Fires. Right down the middle for a strike. He is without a doubt in their heads.
Working hard in and then painting a little two-seamer on that outside corner. Real hard. He's moving it all over the place. And changing the velocities as well.
2-2 on Rickard. Breaking ball for a called strike 3. Joey badly fooled by that pitch. 2 men down.
Questionable if it ever came back down into the zone. Let's take a look. High breaking ball. I've seen that pitch called. He doesn't mind calling the high strike. This one catching that up and in quadrant again on Joey Rickard.
So he's at 100 pitches as he works here in the 7th. Very pitch efficient on this hot night. Here's Adam Jones looking for a hit. He is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
There's that pitch right there. I mean, he's supposed to be McCann setting up down and away. He's done it a handful of times in this game. He's kind of opening up a little too quick, and that fastball just flying up and in on the righties. That probably his most effective pitch of the ball game.
Three times in this game, the Orioles have gone 3 up, 3 down. Their biggest chance, the O's, was in the 3rd inning when they scored their run. 6 batters came up. But a called strike 3 of Davis stranded 2, and that ended that threat. 1-1 on Adam, 2 on and 2 down.
Adams been real good all year with runners in scoring position, and over the last series saw him shorten up with 2 strikes. So cut back and really just try to get the bat head to the baseball. And here falls behind, so he's got to go to work again.
He's had 1 chance tonight with a runner at second base, 0 for 1. He flied out to right field in that at bat. And Fires gets ahead of him 1-2.
He's going to the top of the zone with that fastball again. He has thrown, I think, more fastballs than the Orioles expected tonight. But, some off the knuckles, a lot of weak contact, so he keeps firing it in there. Top of the zone, and see if he tries to get that breaking ball in there and work it to the bottom.
Well, fires a McCann again, having trouble coming together on a sign. And he chased a breaking ball outside and fires, pumps his fist. So the Orioles get 2 hits to begin the inning in strand 2. We are through 7. Strikeout ends the inning for the Birds. Limited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Let's look around the AL East. Tampa Bay at home against Texas. Rays lead at 2-1 in the 8th. Corey Dickerson 2 for 3. Solo home run breaking the tie there. The Indians ahead of Toronto 5-3. Jays did have a lead. Edwin Encarnacion against his former team 2 for 2 with a double home run and 3 RBIs. Both the Red Sox and Yankees out west. Red Sox in Anaheim with Chris Sale, who has 13 double-digit strikeout games on the year. And Sabathia goes for the Yankees in Seattle. Look at CeCe's numbers, 6-1, 106 in his last 8 starts. Yankees won last night 4-0 in the opener of that 4-game series. And Blyer stays on. He's got an inning and 2/3. And this one off the bat of Colin Moran to right field and deep. And that ball is going to go. It's into the bleachers. How about this for a return to the major leagues? RBI triple and a solo home run for Colin Moran. And there's his first major league home run.
We talked about him coming up with some real confidence. The all-star team in AAA and career highs and it's about everything. Batting average over 300. And here in the first pitch breaking ball. Looks like he was sitting on it. Let it travel. Catches it out in front. Yeah, first career shot here at Camden Yards.
His first career home run comes in the ballpark where his uncle starred for so many years, B.J. Surhoff.
Well, they gave him the freeze in there. Nobody came out to give him a high five.
Third Astros home run in this game and an 8-1 lead. And Castro now getting loose. Weak ground ball towards the middle. Jonathan Scope, off balance throw, will not get him. Nice effort, but Springer runs too well.
Yeah, Springer really good speed. I mean, this guy could potentially be a 20-20 guy, 30-30 guy, but I think they understand the value here of him. You see the speed flying down the line, but kind of cutting back on stolen bases this season. Keep that power strong, keep those legs fresh.
Here's Altuve. With 6 hits now off of Richard Blyer. And 2 of the hits by left-handed batters, including the Moran home run. Popped up shallow center. Tejada out, Scope calls, and he's got it.
Whoa. Jonathan Scope, nice running play right there, and kind of sensed that the base runner, Springer, was well off first base. Obviously because it was out there in no man land. Maybe Adam Jones saying, hey, you might have a shot at first base, but nobody was covering first. See Chris Davis hustling in to intercept that throw and keep it from becoming errant.
So 1 down with Springer back to first. Josh Reddick 1 out of 4 with an RBI single. Michael Feliz is still on the bullpen mound. Looks like he'll be coming on in the bottom of the 8th. Ground ball to second to Scope. Gets it to Tejada out there. Back to first. There's a double play to end the inning. So the Astros get a run on the home run by Moran. Mid-8th. 8-1 Houston.
Ball game. Boy, what a solid effort. He had 7 strong innings, scattering just the 6 hits, shutting down a red-hot Oriole offense, limiting them to just the 1 run. Only had 1 walk, 9 punch-outs, really moving the ball all over the place. See the 74 strikes and his 105 pitches thrown. And he will give way to the Astros bullpen. Michael Feliz, young arm here, big arm. Power fastball slider combination. 4 wins on the year. That 3.7 earned run average. Opponents hitting 221. Righties just 196. That power slider down and away. Up to 4 home runs. The first batter 171. Yeah, easy cheese. Likes to be aggressive with the fastball. When he gets ahead, he'll start throwing those sliders in there. Rush it up there in the mid to high 90s. Times he's touched 99 miles an hour this year. Here's a look at Fires. Solid performance.
Here's Manny to face Feliz, first Oriole batter in the 8th. 24-year-old right-hander.
Manny had some tough luck tonight. Couple line drives to the center fielder and a hard ground ball that Altuve was perfectly positioned for.
Field to first, he didn't go. 97.
Fastball 97 miles an hour. And a little check swing, holding up that bat head.
Well, Phillies is the vulture of that Astros bullpen. He has 12 wins dating back to the beginning of last year. Only Michael Givens, who is no doubt the vulture in the Orioles bullpen, he has 14. Andrew Miller has 13. And that is an affectionate term because it means you held your team as is and they came back and rallied and you got to win.
That's right. Putting up zeros.
Made his debut in 2015 at the age of 22. He's now 24. Manny out in front of a breaking ball, fouls it back.
And gets ahead with the slider, and you kind of expect him to try to bury that pitch, but rushes and front shoulder opens up, so it backs up. Gives Manny a shot. A cement mixer spinning up there at the top of the zone.
And a base hit for Machado. He finally finds a hole. And Manny 1 out of 4 with a leadoff single. Jonathan Scope coming up. Time for our Lexus of Towson drive of the game. Sometimes they're bloops.
That's right. No fastball riding in on the hands, and it nestles just over Uriel's head, the first baseman, and drops down. Another RBI for Jonathan Scope.
Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer for 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com.
Picking up his team leading 64th RBI with that knock. The start of the year, Jonathan Scope down at the bottom of the lineup, and Buck would occasionally bounce him up to the top, but he has been so consistent. 4-game hit streak going. 8 for 16. Pretty impressive. 9 RBIs.
The other way, long run for Reddick. Won't get there, but it's foul.
And Manny got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball to pick up his first knock of the game. Stayed real short. Hammered it through the 5-6 hole.
And he got him something off speed and scoped that on strikes. That's the 10th strikeout tonight by Astros pitching. Fires the starter, had 9.
Yeah, this might be the change right here. Stay on the plate, 86 miles an hour. He's throttling back off the fastball and gets Jonathan Scope out front. No, got on the side, no slider.
Chris Davis with the runner on at first and 1 down. Walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd, lined out in the 6th.
Amazing defensive play in this ball game.
It's blooped down the left side, but that's going to be foul. And Feliz ahead of Chris, 0-2. Machado at first after a leadoff single. Davis has faced Feliz just once. He's 0 for 1 against him.
Roughly, he's a pretty versatile arm. Yeah, typically pitches in middle relief for this ball club. Can need a couple innings.
This is low, 2-2. Wow, close pitch, 3-2.
He's getting ahead with that power fastball. Right to that slider. Yeah, see that fifth pitch just missing down and in. The pitcher's pitch. Not getting the call.
And he got him. Well placed fastball, 2 men down.
Yeah, good velocity there, 97 miles an hour. Work on that outside corner. Once again, another fastball missing its spot. Ended up becoming very effective.
And our Coons.com league leaders, when you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Best road record in the American League belongs to the Astros at 33-11.
That's impressive.
That actually is the best in all of Major League Baseball as well. Here's Trumbo, breaking ball for a strike. It is pretty amazing. They actually have 3 more wins on the road than they do at home. They have 30 at home.
Yeah. Not easy to win on the road. They're making it look pretty easy, aren't they?
Well, when you have the best starting pitching in the league, it gives you a chance every game.
You got that right.
And that gets away from the can. That'll get Manny to second base. And a wild pitch ruled, and runner at second with 2 down. It's kind of amazing, and it shows you the Astros. I mean, obviously they're going to win the West. Their lead is so big they'd have to go into a major collapse with this pitching is not going to happen. But they are looking for pitching to improve their team. They would love to get another starter, even though they have the best starting staff in the league. And they're also talking about back end of the bullpen. They've had a little bit of inconsistency back there, and I guess the thought is in the postseason you can't afford that.
Right. Yeah, I think everybody kind of scrambling for a little bullpen help.
And a base hit into left field for Trumbo. And Machado's going to come around the score. Throw towards the plate will be cut off by Moran. So Trumbo has a 2-out base hit.
Yeah, making him pay, falling behind. Getting the pitch he can handle and whistled into the 5-6 hole. Take a look, the fastball out and away, but Trumbo short to it, able to catch it out in front and hook it through the hole. Manny Machado with 2 outs on his horse. Put another run across the board.
So Trumbo gets his first base hit of the night. 49th ribby, and here's Mancini. It's 8-2. Well, let's look at the records again, the road records. And Twins are in contention, Indians are in contention, Red Sox are in contention, and the Rays are in contention. So there's the equalizer. Try to dominate at home and hold your road on the own. The Astros taking it one better. They're dominating on the road.
Yeah, the Orioles have had some struggles on the road, and that's something they need to work on. You see the second half.
Trumbo thought about going, then thought better of it.
Bounces out there, almost gets caught in no man's land. McCann saying, hey, there's an opportunity right there. I'll throw behind, but fortunately Trumbo getting back in there safely.
Left-hander Raymond Gadon.
Slowing that slider down. Advantage of the count here.
And down on strikes goes Mancini, and an off-speed pitch. Joe settle for a run on the RBI by Trumbo. We head to the ninth with the Astros in front. 8-2 lead as the Birds trying to make it 5 in a row. Welcome back into the booth. Jim Hunter with the birthday boy, Mike Bordick. What are you, 29 again? Is that what I heard earlier?
Yeah, well, close.
Well,
Yeah,
happy birthday, and I understand the family had a nice cake for you last night.
What
All
a
the
night.
kids were home?
Yeah, I got home, and all 6 kids were up. Had a little birthday cake. My wife and my daughter made a cake for me. It was a lot of fun.
Well, the Orioles, Mike, trying to extend this winning streak to 5 in a row. And again, it's amazing. We keep hearing about that momentum. Next day starter. Fires tonight was on his game. Really neutralized a very hot hitting team.
Yeah, he did. You know, he mixed up his pitches. Surprised he threw as many fastballs. You know, I think Buck Showalter and the Orioles expecting a little more off-speed pitches, but the fastball was working for him. A lot of balls up in off the label, and he was successful tonight. He's been pitching pretty well since June 1st. Well, Miguel Castro now in the ball game, and seems to be a go-to guy right now, throwing the ball very well. Opponent's hitting just .241, giving up 4 home runs, but man, is he feeling confident right now, cutting it loose. A good fastball coming out of the pen, about 97, 98 miles an hour. Yeah, power slider, a little change to go along with it.
He'll face Carlos Beltran, who's batting left-handed again. RBI single back in the first inning. That drove in the first run. Ground ball, backhanded by Davis. He's a machine over there, 1 away.
Yeah, making some nice plays for sure. Had some tough chances as well. Getting down hot, gets himself in a nice position to make the play. Take a look at the crusher in action. Fastball down and in. A little shuffle step. Nice job with the glove placement on the backhand side. Chris Davis once again playing that Gold Glove caliber first base.
And a strike taken by Yuri Gurriel. There's Hoyt getting loose for the Astros. James Hoyt, one of the 9 relievers out there. And a lazy fly ball to shallow left. Mancini's charging in on it. Look out, Ruben. 2 men down.
Well, that's what they're taught to do. Scare the infielders off the ball if you want it. And let them know. Nice job staying aggressive here at the end of this ball game.
Well, Castro pitching back-to-back games. He was the winning pitcher last night. Pitched the scoreless inning. The Orioles rallied and got the lead after Miley exited. So another test for the young right-hander.
Yeah, I think there's any fatigue in there. A couple fastballs at 99 miles an hour. Oh, still cutting it loose.
Marwin Gonzalez, 2-hit night. He is really becoming a pitcher. You know about the arm. He can consistently hit in the upper 90s. And that one swept to Davis. So back up to play the hop, and the underhand toss to Castro. And a very nice 3-up, 3-down inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the O's, down 8-2. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. An 8-2 game. Astros have out hit the Orioles 16-8. And here's James Hoyt on for the ninth.
Yeah, James Hoyt earned run average up there a little bit, but he's got some pretty good stuff. Fastball, low 90s, loves his slider. Talked about a man that uses his off-speed pitches more than the fastball. This is the one. Slider go-to pitch around 60% of the time. The opponent's hitting 259 off him. Lefty's up to 284. He has given up the 6 home runs as well. And first batter, not much luck there for Hoyt. They're hitting 300, 9 for 30.
Caleb Joseph will be the first batter to face Hoyt. He'll lead off here in the ninth, then Tejada and Rickard, so it's the lower third for the Birds in their last chance. And of course, for the Orioles, the rest of the way here, Mike, it's all about getting series, and they still can do that. But now it'll be the more difficult way, having to win 2 in a row. But they still could do that.
Well, let's kind of hope that Chris Tillman can string together some successful starts, coming off a nice quality start in his last outing. He'll be taking the bump tomorrow. I don't know that the Astros, McHugh's making his debut tomorrow.
Yep, he's been on the DL.
So some question marks there.
Sky to center field. That chases Springer back. Feeling for the wall, not on the warning track yet. And he makes the catch. And 1 down. Well, don't forget tomorrow, game 2 of the 3-game series tomorrow night with Chris Tillman against Colin McHugh. Our coverage on Masson begins 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest. And then game coverage at 7 o'clock on Masson and WJZ. We've got all the access you need right here on Masson.
And here's a look at tomorrow's starters. McHugh, long stint on the disabled list, make his debut this season. Chris Tillman coming off a sensational start. Looking to back it up tomorrow night.
Tejada takes high, 1-0. Tejada is very much taking advantage of this playing time with J.J. Hardy on the disabled list. J.J. will travel with the team. And he's still a ways away with the cast still on. And with the roster makeup at the moment, unless Scope moves over to shortstop, Hyun-Soo Kim on deck to pinch hit for Rickard. Tejada's going to get most of the starts, and he's playing very, very well.
Yeah, he's playing a solid defense. Obviously, swinging the bat doesn't hurt too much either. Keep that bat in the lineup. He's strengthening the bottom third. But defensively, boy, he's been solid for this team. Nice plays in this ball game.
That's another good pickup by the O's. He was in AAA with the Yankees, had one of those opt-outs, and Van Duquette went and picked him up as insurance, and sure enough, Hardy gets hurt, and here he is. A pretty hard slider.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, he loves that pitch. It's a tightly spun pitch. Really his go-to. He'd rather throw that slider than the fastball.
Wouldn't chase. Good take, ball 3.
Good velocity right there. 97 miles an hour.
That must be a prerequisite from what we've seen in that Astros bullpen. If you don't throw 97, don't show up.
Right. Every team. A lot of big arms out there nowadays.
And Strom has some arms to work with. Now full count on Tejada. It's good to see how the Orioles, despite trailing from the outset in this game, very good quality at bats, Mike. They're really keeping their concentration to the end.
Well, that's going to be the key. And they're going to have to stay consistent the rest of the way through. And it's not going to be every night where everybody's clicking like they had been in that Rangers series.
There you go. He works a walk.
That's it. Just keep having good ABs. Nice job here in the end of the ball game. Working at 3-2 and finally base on balls.
So HOU Kim will get an at-bat, a rare at-bat as of late. Joey Rickard in front of Ubaldo there. Joey being pinch hit for by Kim. Good to see Ubaldo back out there supporting his teammates after he was lifted in the 6th inning, went 5 in the 3rd tonight. And a strike at the knees. HOU Kim's playing time has been dramatically reduced because Trey Mancini has become the everyday left fielder. Mancini earning that job with his bat.
Yeah, just can't keep it out of the lineup. He's playing some solid defense as well.
A little late on the swing, 0-2.
It's real hard for HOU Kim to keep that timing.
There's Trey with Wade Miley. Wade Miley's always going 100 miles an hour, even when he's talking to his teammates on the bench.
Yeah,
he is revved up. Twelve strikeouts by Astros pitching tonight, and that's not unique for them. They lead the major leagues in strikeouts. They had 969 as a team in their first 95 games. And that is such a neutralizer, Mike. You strike out, you don't get on base, bad things can't happen to your pitchers.
Yeah, well, we talked about them throwing more off-speed pitches, less than 50% fastballs, so that has been a key for this team. Of course, they're a sabermetric kind of juggernaut, I think, in the game today. You might want to think that that's kind of a sabermetric decision to throw more off-speed pitches. It seems to be working pretty well.
Even Lance McCullers, the youngster, who's got a great arm, he loves the off-speed stuff. He'll pitch the finale on Sunday. 1-2 on HOU with the hot at first, and there's ball 2 outside. And again, when you look at matchups in the Orioles, obviously, I guess you could say that's about most hitters. Most hitters would prefer the fastball, but I think in particular this club, the way they're built, I mean, they're built for power, they're built for the big inning. And when you can throw those off-speed pitches and entice swings, you're going to get a lot of swings. Slice down the left field line. That ball's in for a base hit. And it gets by Gonzalez all the way to the wall. Tejada's going to be held at third by Bobby Dickerson. And on at second base with a double, a pinch double, is HOU Kim.
What a nice piece of hitting. Nice at bat as he falls behind. He has to go to work fouling off some tough pitches. Staying on a nasty pitch. Slapping it down that left field line. Let's take a look at the swing from HOU Kim. Staying on it at the bottom of the zone. And driving through it. Makes it all the way to the left field wall. And take a look at Tejada. Secondary lead. He's thinking about scoring for HOU Kim, but Bobby Dickerson saying, hey, we can't take any chances right now. Too far behind. Yeah, Kim's 4th double of the year.
So Tejada to third. Kim the second for Adam Jones, who is 0 for 4 and has another chance with runners in scoring position. As Mike told you, had a good year. He's 5th in these situations with a .354 average in the league. Line drive left center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Tejada will score, Kim will score. And Adam hits the second base with a 2-run double. Now it is 8-4 here in the ninth. The O's not going down quietly.
Really like that. And Jones jumping on a little slider up in the zone. Take a look here. Elevated. Leans back a little bit, but able to keep the body control and then drive it through the left center field gap. And a couple RBIs.
Chris Davinsky's going to get loose. It's a just in case, only one down here. So Adam extends his hitting streak to 4 in a row. Brent Strom's going to come out for a chat. Adam now has 12 RBIs in his last 9 games as he gets to Hoyt.
Clutch here, hitting here by the Orioles at the end of the ball game. See that they do a lot of their damage in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Well, Kim got the 2 in the scoring position. His first extra base hit since June 2nd. And again, with the infrequent playing time, he hasn't had a lot of chances. Altuve and Adam Jones. And here's Manny. He got a rally going in the 8th with a single. Ball 1 outside. Orioles still have 2 outs to play with, now down by 4. One more base runner, it becomes a save situation.
And some good at bats all night long.
Good slider there, 1-1.
Well located. Looks like it's going to be a heater on the outside corner, and then the bottom drops out of it. Get into the count.
Tejada got it going with that tremendous at bat, drawing the walk. And a base hit from Machado to right field. Adam Jones will be held. 3 straight hits, and the Orioles not going quietly.
Oh, what a night for Machado. These are 5 quality at bats he's had, and really didn't let those 2 line drives to center field affect him at all. Stays over the fastball up and away and drives it opposite field. A sound approach from Machado, picking up his 2nd knock. Potentially could have been 5 for 5 in this ball game.
So Davinsky's going to come on. It's now a save situation in the 9th.
Make things interesting here. So Astros going to some of their dependable back end guys. Chris Davinsky has been used in some high leverage roles all year long. 273 earned run average. Opponents hitting just 162 off him. He has given up the 6 long balls. And boy, can he mix it up. He's got 4 quality pitches, and he isn't afraid to use any at any time. First batter hitting 171, and a pretty good number. With some runners stranded 82% of the time.
Adam Jones is at 3rd. Manny Machado at first, still only 1 down, 2 runs in. It's 8-4. Orioles need to get one more runner on to get the tying run to the plate. And Scope has been their hottest hitter, RBI single back in the 3rd inning. Davinsky out of Cal State Fullerton. Fly ball to right field. That ball has some carry, and that ball is gone for Scope, and it's a 1-run game. Jonathan Scope goes opposite field, and it's 8-7 in the 9th.
That is some impressive stuff right there. The Oriole offense, and Jonathan Scope, 20th home run of the year.
And another $500 for our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Marie Zepp of Westminster.
Wow. This big inning starting with the Tejada walk. Jin-Soo Kim, the clutch double. And then Jonathan Scope getting down on a fastball away and hammering this ball deep to right field. Now Wellington knows, 3-run shot. The Orioles 1 run away. Still 2 outs left here in the 9th inning.
So now you have a chance if Davis can get on as Giles, the closer, gets up. That would bring Trumbo up as the winning run. So the tying run all of a sudden is at the plate. A 4 RBI game for Jonathan Scope, who of course leads the Orioles. Now 33 multi-hit games and 17 multi-RBI. And a strike. They're so for 3, walked in the 2nd. Now Davinsky has held left-handers to a 110 batting average. That is the lowest by a reliever in the league. Check swing and a good take.
Good fastball, works in the low mid-90s with a very effective changeup that he likes to use. That's the lefties.
Memorial Magic here with a 5-run 9th inning. Bunts against the shift, but he bunted it right back to the mound, and the underhand toss gets Davis. So trying to get on to get Trumbo up there as the winning run, and he bunted it right back at the pitcher.
Yeah, another good idea by Chris Davis, but trying to be too fancy right there. Trying to lay it down like an actual speedster.
So we're going to get Giles to come on to try for the final out in what is now a 1-run game.
Closer in the ball game. Giles 3-1 earned run average, 20 saves and 22 opportunities. Got a big arm. Not the 40 punch outs. Opponents hitting 190. The righties just 203. Lefties 175. Only giving up the 2 long balls. And a fastball mid to high 90s. A power slider to go along with it. Really likes using the slider more than the heater. First batter's hitting just 171.
Well, tough night there for Davinsky. Gives up that home run to Scope. Two for 5, including a home run against Giles. Orioles down to the final out, down by a run. Game off speed. He was looking fastball and swings through it.
Pretty nasty pitch right there. That's a hard slider, 88 miles an hour. Nice late finish.
His 20th save of the year came last Sunday against Minnesota. Same pitch.
Take a look at another power slider here, starting on the outside corner. 89 miles an hour. Still gets that kind of drop at the end.
So the O's down to their final strike. Trumbo's the 8th Oriole to bat here in the 9th inning. Laid off that time. 3 consecutive pitches down in the zone.
That is not easy. I mean, that is coming in hot. 89 miles an hour. Tough to really try to pick up the spin on that pitch and lay off.
And he got him, and the ball game is over. So the Orioles come up 1 run short, but what a comeback in the 9th as they score 5 runs. Force the Astros deeper into their bullpen, and Houston holds on. Colin Moran, his first major league game of the year, just called up. RBI triple and a solo home run for the Astros. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow. It is game 2 of the 3-game series with Chris Tillman on the mound. Colin McHugh will make his season debut. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock on MASN and WJZ. Tonight's telecast, a massive presentation. And now for Mike Bordick and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long. Once again, our final score, Houston 8 and the Orioles 7. Tom and Rick, O's Extra comes your way right now.